Ah, man, it's been a long time coming, but we are definitely back.
Yeah, yeah,
It's the vault with the girl Myra Maloba, the Afropunk queen, and
yeah, yeah. It's the siblings.
the
Yeah,
siblings.
yeah. It's the
Uh-huh.
beat maker, not the beat taker.
Right.
10 fingers in the air. That's how we present. Yeah, we're back. We're back. It's been a long time, but now we're back.
Yes, so one thing, the other thing that's been back, hey, let me tell you, people are creating problems out there, but we shall not be kept down for long. The website is back and it's in full swing. Remember to always tune in on www.iconradio.co.k. Feels nice to say that once again. For those who have been tuning in on our alternative site, that's radio.or.k. Mad love to you guys. Also on youtube.com/at Icon Radio K, where the shows have indeed been live. Thank you for your patience. And thank you for always keeping us at the top. You know, when you look for Icon Radio, you see just, oh, they're at the top. So keep helping us put that SEO up there. Of course, following us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Follow, like, and subscribe. My personal socials are Nyar Fox on Instagram, Twitter at Maloba. If you've never tuned into the vault, it's all about hip hop from the 254 to the world. Yes, guys, a lot has been happening in the past couple of weeks. I think we were not here last week, but we were here the week before that.
Yeah, yeah. Me, I've been down. I've been feeling unwell. In fact,
Boy,
I'm trying to
Pauline.
get back to my normal self now, but still not feeling too well. But I'm getting there.
Exactly. Down but not out.
Can't be out. Can't be out.
Can't
But
be
I'm
out.
still alive.
Well, son, I hope you get well soon.
Yeah.
As we're busy with one major event, I can really represented 100% in Naivasha this past weekend. A lot to talk about, a lot to download.
That
before we
is
get to the
a
global.
Safari rally.
Yes, so
Did you see our cousin there,
who's that?
Lynette?
No,
Yes,
no.
she was a navigator. So, I think it was Farcom or was the government. They funded an all-female team
Yeah, they've been doing that for some time now.
that took part.
Yes.
So Lynette was one of them. Yeah, even if you check social media, you'll see her. She was all even about I think a week before that they had this dinner at Safari Park Hotel.
Yeah, for the legends.
Yes, and she was also there, and guys like Patrick Njiru were there. All the old school guys people don't know.
Yeah.
I met Patrick Njiru when I was like, I think I was like around 12 years old when I was in Boy Scouts of America at ISK.
Oh.
Yeah, he came to give a talk. I asked him 1 million questions,
Yeah.
which he answered.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
But I thought she was in Iran or something.
who?
Lynette.
She's part of that thing.
What?
Yeah.
That's so cool. But like,
She's called Lynette Aoki or something like she's one of the she's a navigator
you'll have to show
that
me
takes
that.
part.
You'll have to show me the pictures. You'll
Yeah,
have to show me the
even if
pictures.
you go online and you check, even if you go, I think the Santa did a story about her also.
Right.
Yeah, so
I'll have to check that out.
yeah.
And like where we were having the event, Safari Center, they did a meet and greet for most of the drivers. About 34 drivers came through. It was massive. But I don't know why they didn't have the all-female team. That would have been so dope because there are so many fans who came out to meet their idols. It would have been cool to have the all-female.
Because even at
team.
Safari Park Hotel, I was watching on TV, the all-female team came up. They came on stage.
That is so dope.
Yeah, and so it was good to see them.
Yeah.
It was good that I'm a big advocate for women moving forward.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to see that the government is getting behind, organizations are getting behind women
I love it.
and advocating for them.
It's about time.
Yeah.
Another person I'd like to big up is my former schoolmate. He's called Andrew Anyoike. Always doing the rally year after year. Last year he didn't make it to the finish. This year he actually made it to the finish. So big shout outs to you and your team. Of course, we're ready for you to now clinch at least a little win in the next one. But congratulations on making
Apparently
it to the
they
finish.
say the Kenyan Safari Rally is one of the toughest in the world.
It is. The terrains are white.
Yeah. But now I saw Uganda were getting bitter. They were
White.
like, you guys have just kept in Kenya. You need to bring it. You just cross over to Uganda. Why is it not crossing over to Uganda now?
For many reasons. Can you
What
just
are
tell
the
them?
reasons? What are the reasons?
Many reasons.
Because Uganda also has many hills.
It
It
does.
also has that terrain also going
It
on.
does.
Yeah, I've been
It
there. I
does.
see how they represent.
It does, but it's not Kenya.
So they had to cross over to Kenya towards the safari.
Yes.
In case you guys don't know, people were up there at like 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
And they were getting psyched up to check out what was gonna just see the cars go by and everything.
The fun fair is crazy. Just even having just to see it, and the way the kids just came together for that was dope. Other than that, there was the entertainment of the entire rally. We have, of course, we were doing our thing. Then across the road, literally across the road, Talanta Hela decides to set up shop that week.
Which Talenta is this the one for
Talanta Hela,
Ababu?
Babu Namamba.
The one that's bringing a lot of problems. What's this girl called again?
Aziad.
Aziad.
Those are stories we don't even get involved in. Those are side shows. But
She's in a movie that I was scoring the other day.
yeah,
So
okay.
she's a good actor. I can say that. She's a good
She's
actor.
very talented. That girl, let me tell you, I've never seen somebody fast rising at only 22 or 23. I've never seen somebody rise that
but
fast.
people are complaining because the real issue is that she went for an interview, right? And she was asked, she was said, these questions, don't ask me. Then she arrives, then the lady who's there asked her those questions.
Yeah.
So she got up and walked out. So we were like, okay, you're pissed off, but did you need to get up and walk out?
That was her reaction. You can't blame her for her
Can
reaction.
you just be like, I'm not going to answer that question?
I know. You can't blame her for her reaction. She was pissed. Like, you understand? It's like you getting a job, your dream job. And then within minutes, it's snatched away from you. And then publicly.
But Kenyans are too much.
Can guys just be a little bit sensitive?
But I feel Kenyans are too much. Okay, fine. She had the same shoes as Ababu. So what does that mean? So if I wear the same shoes as a female MP, that means that there's something, Kenyans sometimes can be too much. Like too much. Too extra. It's called extra.
Across the world.
I saw those shoes, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like, how many other people have those shoes? There's
so much soul.
Yeah, right. But that's the new swag, the new generation.
Hey, man. Hey, I feel hard. Anyway, as in, the thing is, but not everybody's akode. Not everybody has tough skin, okay? And celebs across the world, when they say don't ask me a question and somebody does it, then let's decide, okay, this is not worth my time anymore. I'll leave because my time here is not being respected. My requests here are not being respected. So I'll just choose to exit stage left. Because you don't know, if somebody starts on that tangent, you've already told them, don't do this. Don't cross this line. And they do it. Like a toy, you tell them, there's a kasufuria over there, it's hot. Don't touch it. And they do. So like you wouldn't have known what tangents she would have continued to go in if she had already crossed the border once. As in, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Well, maybe I think she just needs to get some new sneakers. Yeah.
That's
Because that's what everyone is talking about.
My God.
Like literally now you have to watch out the kind of shoes you buy.
Oh Lord.
Because you're like, hey, so and so bought these shoes.
Okay, as we digress. So away from Aziad shoes. So Talanta Hela had their thing across the board.
Yep.
Across the across the road from us. Massive Kenyan talent came out for this thing. Massive.
And also massive talent didn't come out.
Really? Some guys missed out.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a crew in particularly.
Oh no. For that one across the road, I scare what they're talking at. But the one we were at, now, these guys, allegedly, okay, they were paid some amount of money. It was a last minute thing. Though you plan for things, some people come through, some people pull out. So sometimes you scramble to get people to fill in. So these guys, very popular set of guys, very big group, very well respected, very well known. They were paid the deposits, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for any performer, you pay deposit first.
Yeah.
And then before you go on stage, you're paid the rest. Yeah.
Or you're paid after.
You're paid after.
After you get off the stage.
After you get off the stage. Either one works, yeah. But at least your deposit is there. So these guys are paid the deposit. Then the day off, they're like, as we need Petit to come and Fika to Naivasha. So send us this amount of money to fuel our cars. Guys scramble to look for the money. In between everything, but planning, they send the money for the Petit. Come now, time for Fika. They Fika right before the show. They do sound check. Everything is cool. Everything is clear. Then decide they looked for accommodation, right? Because apparently the deal was they're given their chew, they get their own accommodation and transit, because like even Naivasha, it gets super full. Getting accommodation is hard.
Yeah.
And this is on a whole. It was a Friday. Friday at least there was a bit of accommodation. So like the organizers apparently they're like, it's okay, we'll even help you look for it, but then you guys are on your own from there. They're like, cool. So the organizers look for the accommodation, and as the owner of the digs was signing the contract, she was like, hold up, who are these guys? What? No, these guys trashed my house. They only paid 15,000 last year, and I had to pay damages up to the tune of 150,000. Wachaikai. So then the organizers began to realize that nobody in Naivasha wants to touch these guys because of their behavior. Yani guys in the digs, light bulbs are hanging, so water's being poured on the roof, so doors are off the hinges, like proper damage. So they blame it on the organizers. They're like, Villa, you guys are either going to pay us an extra money to go look for accommodation or we bounce. And there's one particular person in that group who was now fueling everything according to what was being said on the ground. So eventually they're being set, even before even that all happened, they were sent for their last bit of deposit so they could sort themselves out. Guys go, disappear. There's a main act who was there, and now they're giving conditions away from the venue, from their Airbnb, which they found.
Yeah.
So they give the conditions. They're like, Bila, we're not going to perform before this guy. They have a back and forth with the organizer. The organizer's like, listen, kaini penye unaka? Don't even step back on these grounds. I don't see you guys. Security will throw you out. So the event happens. Unfortunately, without these guys, everybody was excited to see them, me included. It was just really bad. And then the next day, the Airbnb person says, wameenda na balance yangu. What is wrong with these guys? What is wrong with these guys? It's way too much.
For those guys who are wondering who they are, this is the big W.
Yeah. It wasn't. The W doesn't stand for a win. And it was very, very disappointing.
They're representing the sector of Umoja. So
man.
At the end of the day, this is this. Don't ever think that you're too big, that you can't be humble. At the end of the day, this entertainment industry, I said this before, is very small.
Yeah.
You last for a very short time. Most artists just last for about 3 to 5 years and their career is over. At the end of the day. And if you continue keep on doing this and doing this and doing this, guess what? People are not going to be interested in you. There's new artists who are coming up. There's new artists who are humble, who are working hard, who are putting in the time, who are doing well. So you know what? Let me just say, you guys, your time is over. Your time is over.
It's not the first time they're doing this. They did this again last year.
Yeah.
To another event.
Yeah.
In the same Naivasha.
And you know the funny thing is, a lot of these behaviors are happening with hip hop groups. Hip hop groups, you need to style up. You need to style up, man. Back in the 80s and 90s, rock groups used to behave like this.
Right.
They used to go trash out places and what. But nowadays, you don't hear a lot about that, about rock groups. What happened? Time moved forward. Changes happen. So you got to humble yourself. Another thing is, trust me, these stories reach the so-called people. I always hear they say, hey, my fans wangu. Until I wonder, who are those fans?
Right.
But they always talk about their fans, who are out there. Let me tell you, fans get tired also.
Yeah.
And they get bored and they're like, screw you.
Yes.
We don't care about your music anymore. No, forget about you. Screw you.
And the funny thing is, the fans did come out and say when they put out the event, on their socials, they come out and say, you guys screwed with us the same way last year. Yeah, you didn't talk here for event. How do we know that you'll talk here this time? When you start getting that kind of reputation, slowly by slowly, and it starts building up not only in the industry but among your fans, nobody will take you seriously. Like now, I have stopped taking them seriously completely.
Yeah, it's time for a change. At the end of the day, and if you can't keep your word, money ends. Whatever you were paid, money ends and ends fast. And so the thing is, let me tell you, guys are bored of you and they're bored of your behavior. So even the stuff you rap about in your music, that means you're not true to it. You're not true to what you're talking. It's just a bunch of garbage.
You know, because like the organizers, these guys, the event, you know, events are hard. Finding money last minute is difficult, but they put the money together to be able to pay these guys. Yeah, because they're like, Angalau, let's put one of our own up on stage and make sure that they're settled. So even before they left the stage, they were sent for their tunes. But for them to turn around and do that, as in you're like you're saying, they don't practice what they preach. You can't be over there talking about the streets, the struggle, and blah blah blah, and then do that to people who are struggling to put you on. As in, it's really hypocritical, and that's why you find Kenyans usually saying, manze wasanii wetu wataenda wapi? Haizi hatawezi kuwa international. When you act like that on an international stage, next to an international act, yeah, and the whole world is watching because guys were live. They were live from that event. Several stations came out to cover that event, and you do that in front of millions of Kenyans. How do we take our own seriously? How do we say we want to go to the Grammys, the Oscars, or whatever, and we can't take ourselves seriously?
You know, the last week but one, I was at an event, and this is Bisu launching their album. They had done some time ago before I even met them, and there are a lot of guys that showed up, which is my point. Kenyans are looking for places they can go listen to people's music. So the thing is, if this particular crew is not doing what they need to do, they just find someone else. They'll find someone else to go check them out, you know? That's just how it is.
Now, for me, it's like, at least let them just make their money from DistroKid and YouTube, because I don't think they belong on stage. And you know, moving as a group, it's very easy. Very easy. But now look at the time you try to go solo. The time you try and put yourself away from the group and try to do things for yourself. People will still judge you from whatever you're doing as a group.
But also, DistroKid will only help you so far. People want to see you perform live. That's how. That's where the real thing is. Not streaming. You know, streaming is a good avenue to get awareness, but people want to see you perform. And if you're not showing up perform live, why are they checking you out?
My G, if you don't have a mansion in Runda, or even if it's in a 3-5, if you don't have a big house of your own, have a proper account, you're not driving your dream car, you have not made it. Okay? So don't think, because yes, you're hitting the airwaves now, that this is where you are ficad. If this is where you think you are ficad, then you have no aspirations, you have no dreams. And your career is ending here.
But
I can tell you for free.
Also, if money is always just your main ambition, you know, then your career is going to end very fast. Because at the time, there will be no money.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. That's how the industry is. There's a time people just move on.
And they forget.
They forget about it. It's like football. Everyone now talks about Messi and Ronaldo. But what about the guys who were there before? Ronaldinho, all those guys who were there before. You don't hear their names. They're mentioned, but not so much. That's how the music industry is.
That's how it is. But away from the negativity, of course, the positives, let me tell you, once Sais Sandabi is coming up hard, okay? She left Naivasha with people screaming her name at the end of the day. Because she came up, she showed up, she showed out, and she was the only female on that stage that weekend. So big up to you, Saisa. Big up to your work ethic. Big up to the music you're putting out. Big up to you being a force to reckon with, because you take your craft seriously. And she got bangers, man. She did like, as we thought it was 1 or 2. Kobe, she has like an entire EP under her belt. And this girl started working on this thing from late last year. So she's doing her thing. And of course, big shout out to Talanta Hela. They made it free for a lot of guys in Naivasha. They put a lot of Kenyan acts on the stage, and completely showed complete love for the 254. Though it was free, it was
so does that mean Abab was doing a good job?
I can tell you, for the scenes that happened in Naivasha, yes, the stage was humongous. It was beautiful. It's what Kenyan artists deserve. The bazaar where, you know, Kenyans went to showcase and sell their wares for free looked beautiful. They did a fantastic
And which
job.
are the artists who were performing who came actually from Naivasha?
From I didn't see from Naivasha, but from Nakuru represented very Mkali. Wow.
Yeah, now we need people coming from
Naivasha.
their ends now.
Oh, right. Big shout out to people who grace our stage. Mtani Connects. Those kids came and danced, and they danced their heart out, and they are just, they're putting out information about the event. In the billboards. Keep it right
The
here.
death of Genge.
Aye, where? We'll talk about it.
It's true. There's a death of Genge, whether people want to admit it or not.
We'll talk about it up next, right here on the vault. Yes, we are back. This is The Vault. I'm your girl, Myra Maloba, the Afro Punk Queen. We also got in studio.
Yes, the Beatmekah, another beat taker. 10 fingers in the air.
There we go. And we're all about that hip hop from the 254 to the world. Of course, we're talking about everything that has been trending in the last couple of weeks or so. Now, it was announced, and I think Juakali was the one who put me onto it because I didn't even know. I saw it now on his page that the Grammys has a complete African category. Everything from Amapiano to Afrobeats. And somewhere in the middle over there, if you scooted really hard, you could see Genge. Somewhere there in the middle.
Gang is the dying horse.
Ooh.
Yeah, I made it public. It is. The last time we heard Genge was when? No, let's be real. How many years ago was it?
I don't know. Me, Genge, like the last for me was with Nani, Mbogi Genje.
That's
After
Genge
that,
tone.
I don't even know.
There's a difference between Genge. This is the thing people understand. There's a difference between Genge and Genge tone.
Yeah, but they were calling themselves Genge still.
Genge tone is like reggae tone. Reggae tone came from Jamaica, and then they applied that dance hall flavor in there. So same thing. That's how reggae tone is.
Right.
So they came with that Genge, that local sound with the tone.
Right.
So, but the last time we heard anything major from Caliph, let's say Caliph Records, because they're known to be the ones for Genge. How many years ago was it?
It's been a while.
Exactly. Now, this was an argument. Even I read about it online, where Kenyans were talking about. Some were in support, some were against it.
Right.
They were like, at the end of the day, the same argument I'm bringing up. The last time we heard anything from these people is what, and you know what the Grammys do is a category is put in. They allow a category to come in. Even when Afrobeats came in, and by the way, people forget Afrobeats is not just Nigeria.
No.
There's Senegal, there's Ivory Coast, there's other places that have Afrobeats.
Right.
Right. And so now
it's an African sound.
Yeah, it is, but it's like a West African, like there's different places in West Africa. Nigeria is not the only one. And so now what happens is they check out, because they have a committee. They have a committee for the Grammy. What are you doing in your country?
Right.
What are you doing to make that relevant more, the music more? What are you doing, even if it was in the past, to incorporate it now? Now, if you're not doing anything, Juakali is a guy who's trying to perform by himself. Nonini is somewhere in America. Can't remember even which state it is. He's over there. The other originators who were there from Jimwat, Pilipili to all the other guys, you don't hear about them.
Right.
You know? And so the thing is, if you're going to make a category relevant, then it's got to be relevant.
Yeah, because I don't think there's a sound you can say describes Kenya. Flozz, can you say there's a sound that describes Kenyan music? You can't say, as in, like, you can't say, like, Amapiano is clear. Afrobeats.
But Amapiano once again, if you look at any African sound, Amapiano is a genre of different genres mixed together. It's actually based from church music, ting, 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 the pianos in church. It's based by Dutch house. It's like about 4 or 5 different genres mixed together. That's how most of the sound. If you look at, people talk about Nigeria, about Fela Kuti. Fela took that sound called high life from Ghana. It's originally Ghanaian, So if you look at genres, there's every single genre.
It's a mix of everything there. And even Afrobeats now has a bit of Amapiano in it.
Even I heard, like, I think Makadem was telling me, was it Loketo or whatever, back in the days, the Congolese stole it from Kenya. That benga sound from Kenya.
Yeah,
and then they mixed it with other genres.
Yeah, it's such
a So there's no music in the world, even jazz music is incorporated from different ones. There's no music that stands on its own.
Right.
But the thing is, what are you doing with that music in your country? Yes, Kenya, we don't, and there's been arguments. So many people have asked around Africa, what is Kenyan sound? And all Kenyans look at each other and say, I don't know. I don't know what Kenyan sound is. And then they come back, forget about now Genge. They go back and say, originally, the original sound was Kapuka. That's what they say. Kapuka is a Kenya. That's what they say. And then the Ugandans came like Chameleon and what? They took that sound and took it back to their country and developed it to where it is right now.
It's very, like, if you put Benga there, I'd be like, cool. You put Mugithi there, I'll be like, for sure. As in, it's very.
Because even rumba, what people call the rumba lingala sound, it originally came from Spain, from the salsa guitar.
Right.
That style of playing guitar, it was
Right.
taken from Spain. So I don't think there's any country that really says, you know what, we're the originators and no one can tell us nothing. Like, it's always. But then the thing, my argument is, like, Genge just went and died. That's why I say it died like a horse. It died, and it was never brought back up. So now you're thinking, because it's in a category, everyone's gonna come and say, yeah, let's jump on it. And we're like, okay, like you said, there's amapiano, there's other African sounds that people are more inclined to
Right.
than that. They're like, this sounds more, because even with Genge, it was very laid back beat. When you hear them, it was very, amapiano is more aggressive.
And you know, like the guys in the streets, if you ask them what they listen to, they tell you drill, trap. So
And there's different types of there's Afro drill. The drill that came from Africa that has actually like an African style of guitar. They
right.
mix the drill, the 808 bass, and everything. And so I think at the end of the day, people they're never really faithful to a particular sound. They're always waiting for the new one. Do you remember there's a time everyone used to do EDM? Everyone. EDM was big, and EDM basically came from disco. That's where it came. That's where it came. So it always comes from something else to whatever. So people are never really faithful to a sound, but they want to feel like when they're part of that sound, that it's something that's happening. Even if you look at hip hop right now, hip hop is not what it used to be. You know, it's like there's a time people are like, oh yeah, I'm a conscious artist. This is what I, and it's not just in music. Things fade away all the time. You know, they say nothing remains the same.
Right.
So today I was watching TV before I came, and I was shocked. There was a guy doing an interview, man, and there's guys who are still wearing a durag. I mean, seriously, durag. Like, I had a friend who used to make those things, and I remember how he used to make them. He used to cut them from covers of old mattresses.
Oh,
Remember that cover from the mattress?
Yeah.
Because then he sews them, then you put them on your head. So there's still a few artists that I see around, people like Nameless, are still wearing durag. I think even Red Sun.
You never stop.
But
Never stop.
but people, just like music, they want something that they're gonna connect to. Now, what I tell the Genge, the so-called Genge guys who are remaining, if they want to make it, they want to incorporate something, then they've got to fight for it. They can't just put it in a category and say this is our category. They've got to make it relevant in 2023 going to 2024, making it relevant for Kenyans to connect to. Because right now, like you said, if you go on the streets, you'll hear trap, you'll hear drill, you hear other genres of music that people connect with, but you'll never hear Genge.
It surprised me when I saw Genge, because even for Juakali who shared it, remember when he came out with this new album, it was heavily criticized. Guys,
I read about it.
Yeah, guys were feeling like he's kind of washed out. He's not part of the scene anymore. Like there wasn't any love, real, like, apart from people like us who appreciate him, and a few guys from Eastlands who know where Juakali has come from. I think like the it wasn't really well received.
And some people feel that also Nonini's a sellout. You know, they don't feel that he's very honest and true. He played out a lot of guys in the industry. So even when he's out there trying to prove Genge true, people are like, so what?
So, like, if we were to put out a list of nominees from our end, yeah, for the Genge category, the only people I can look at probably is Juakali, who's still doing his thing, but put out new stuff. Major.
And it's funny, no one really talks about Major right now.
He's performing a lot on stage. I think also because his voice is still kind of messed up.
Yeah.
So I think, like, but he's put out new music. He's really tried. So in my mind's eye, those are the only two. And I think Kendi came back the other day. Yeah. So I'm like, if we were to put out our artists, who are we really putting out for this category?
And that's what I mean. There's not enough meat in the sandwich.
That's true.
You know, like when people talk about people like because originally, if we talk about Afrobeats, right? And you talk about guys like Two-Face and those guys who were there in the beginning, right? You know, P Square, you know, those guys were there in the beginning. When they first came out, like when I first heard like Nigerian music, it was crap. I remember 2004, these tried to be like Tupac.
They
These
used
tried
to
to
be
rap.
like everyone, 50 Cent, Blue
And they
Control,
couldn't
name
do it.
it.
Yeah, and then when things changed, came, you are my African queen. Then people started thinking, oh, you know what? Yeah, this is home. This
Yeah.
is something to connect to, and that's when their music started changing into a different sound.
Yeah.
You know, now if you look around 2004, 2005 to 2021, 22, 23, you can see how long it's taking them to even get a category in the Grammy.
Right.
You know,
Right.
and when Jua they came up with that sound of the album that was doing, what was that, 2006, 2007, and then by 2010, 11, it was dead.
It's
You know?
it's a difficult sell,
Yeah.
in my
So
opinion.
they need to look at, and the thing is this: even if you look at producers who are out there, and you look throughout Africa, throughout abroad, you look at artists who are out there, you realize even the artists who were there back in the days had to change their sound. They can't stick to the same sound they were doing. So maybe that's what Genge need to look at right now. They need to look at making Kenyans love them once again, because they originally did love them. You know, we need to make them love them once again, and the music they put up. Why they loved that music was they felt they could relate to it.
Right.
Just the way people feel they relate to I'm a piano Afrobeats. They felt. So now Genge need to focus on that. They need to stop, just quit focusing on categories, and start focusing on the music.
I think this is a good thing. Also, looking at the other aspects, or looking at the other, I think it's a good thing because it makes people wake up. It makes people wake up and say, okay, our stuff could actually be at the Grammy stage. We could actually be there. Because the last people I think who were there, I know it was BT, it's not even Grammys. I think it was Kamula. Although, if you look at Ben Soul and Sauti Soul, they do say that they've won a Grammy. I'm not sure which Grammy they've won, but I think they co-wrote something with Burna Boy, something like that. I can't remember, but they said they're Grammy winners. But it gives guys hope, and yet say we can be there. Our music can be represented there. So hopefully they can take themselves a little bit more seriously. Yeah. Those things we ask them for, the press kits, yeah, proper music, original music, and put themselves out there a little bit more and aim to get to the Grammy stage.
But you also got to remember, no genre lasts forever.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time I said EDM was big, 2008, 2009, going 2010, 11 there. Do you remember there's a time you couldn't go anywhere without hearing David Guetta?
Yeah.
Now, do you hear his name? He's still producing, but you rarely hear his name. That's my point. My point is you got to make it relevant. In Kenya right now, as Kenya is in 2023, and has been for the last couple of years, there's only two genres of music that have lasted the days and the times in Kenya. And I'll tell you which one they are. Reggae and Lingala.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Yeah. Anywhere you go, uptown or downtown, there's a reggae night.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go, there's a Lingala crowd.
Yeah.
Whether you're 70 or whether you're 18. They're there.
And country.
Yeah, countries coming up. They try to come up with a country trap. You know,
did they?
They try to come up. Yeah, they try to come up with that thing. It grew in different parts. Remember, like also, Lil Nas X did a track. You know, so it's like there's places that I've gone, and in Kenya there's some guys who are doing it right now in other parts of Africa.
Yeah,
it's come up. But the thing is, one thing that we got to ask ourselves is, why has reggae remained so dominant so long, and why has Lingala remained so dominant so long?
Yeah.
I saw there's a show that I saw on Facebook that Fundi Frank put up on his page, and Victoria Kimani was performing in Congo.
In Congo, yes.
You saw that?
Yes.
And you see how many Congolese showed up? It wasn't her show, she was kind of raising. Yeah. But they believe in their artists.
Yeah.
Now, Kenya, we've got to learn from that. We've got to believe in our artists.
The love is amazing.
We've got to believe in what they're putting out. And we've got to believe, like, if something isn't great, we've also got to speak our mind of how to make it better for those artists.
Like showing up to your concert anyway.
Because the funny thing in Kenya, if you go, like I said, like Bisu did the show the other day. I went. It was in Buruburu. Now a lot of guys showed up for that show. But the reason why they show up for shows is this: because there's no place for artists to perform in Nairobi. There's literally no places. There's a time every week. It used to be at Lyons. You know what happened? Died out. You don't hear about 9 years about specific shows there. And so the thing is, guys are hungry to perform. They're hungry to show what they're doing. But the thing is, we need, as a country, we need to be able to provide those venues for people to showcase what they have. You know, I believe if we did that, there will be more genres of music that would come out in Kenya right now.
So let us know your thoughts on +254 788 380030. Let's get into the conversation. Let's get back into the music. When we come back, we'll be closing out the show as we finish off with the last bit of the news happening in hip hop this week. I'm guessing that was early years Femi one. It's as in, like if you listen to Femi one now, you wouldn't believe that's the same one. That was Femi one with Boss Lady. They're hearing for the first time, today years old, and I'm like, hey,
Sounded like she recorded it on her phone.
it's
Uh-huh.
very different.
Uh-huh.
It's very different. I'm not used to that kind of Femi one, but it's called growth. Growth is a very
Okay.
important thing.
Uh,
Very important thing. There's you're listening to The Vault with me, Myra Maloba, the Afropunk Queen, and
yeah, it's the beat maker in the house, not the beat taker. Representing all the way. Yeah.
there
This
we
is how
go.
we do it.
Yep. So the BT Awards were held the other day. Apart from the very many notable naked women on the catwalk, on the red carpet, like Chileans were not wearing clothes. I didn't understand what is going.
Wasn't that company bought?
BT, yes.
By,
How do we forget to start with that?
yeah.
Tyler Perry.
The guy's making moves. No one can deny that.
BT and VH1, my friends. And he's bought them out, and he's officially a media mogul.
And people forget. People say Kamola, but the other crew
Uh-huh.
that was represented some years ago, I think it was around 2012, 2013, for BT, was Crew Teflon.
Did they make it to BT?
They actually got nominated in BT.
Did they?
Yeah, that was Chris Alando's crew.
Yeah, like if you think Crew Teflon, probably you might be not very familiar with them. But BV Accurate
they're all
is
private school kids also.
all of them.
Academy, St.
All,
Austin.
hey, cool kids.
I produced one track for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They even had their own station on Django, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, they were doing really well. I don't know what happened, but BV Accurate, one of the MCs, I mean, one of the hip hop crew, he's now an MC, like a full-fledged MC. He's, hitting big stages. He's doing his thing.
Kavi moved to Italy some years ago. Has
Yeah.
done really well for herself as a vocalist.
Okay. She
Yeah.
had a very unique voice.
Yeah, she was very into her sound, and she was very good at what she did.
And did they make it for the said BET Awards?
I don't know if they made it. I think I can't remember if they traveled. I can't remember. It was such a long time ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I remember. Yeah, they're one of the nominations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so that time they were working on their album.
Interesting. So the stage saw Quavo and Offset coming together. Remember, I think it was earlier this year during the Grammys.
Yeah, that Cardi B has dissed him,
Lord.
ditched him, played
That
him.
ditched him. She not played him. I think there was sort of a miscommunication somewhere. They're probably having problems.
But now she's like, I'm on for divorce.
Yeah. Like at the end of the day, how do you put your girl out like that? And you are the guy to cheat G how many times?
Yeah, let's be honest, he's cheated so many times.
So many times.
It's so well documented, you can't even hide it.
And then you put your girl out like that. Nah, fam. Please come correct. Come correct. And Cardi was not there for that. But remember, they got into a big fight. Quavo and Offset. And they're supposed to have done a tribute together at the Grammy stage. Yeah. And Quavo ended up doing the tribute alone without Offset at that time. And it was like, there was like very heavy
Aren't they
beef.
like cousins?
Apparently, the cousins were Quavo and what's the guy?
The one who passed away.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
they were the cousins, and then Offset, I think, was, I don't know, I can't remember what the association was, but there's a lot of beef. But they came together on the BET stage.
But
which is
Quavo
great to see.
always has beef.
Even with his own wife.
He always has this. There's a time I remember he went to France,
Yes,
and then he was trying to get in a club,
right.
and then one of the Le Twins dancers saw him and said, go on me, and he punched the guy. Like,
I remember
like,
that.
so the guy's like, I was trying to help you get in, and you're punching me. So the guy always has issues. Like,
I think he's on something. He might be on something. But yes, Takeoff is who they're paying tribute to.
yeah, take off.
And BT, they were doing the same thing, paying tributes to Takeoff. So there was a huge image. But the biggest surprise was them coming together after all that beef. Now, throughout the show, whether it was Tupac, Notorious B.I.G., Beatmekah, or Pop Smoke, performers and MC Kid Capri paid homage to the last hip hop stars, often by quickly highlighting a taste of their best known hits. In a show where the awards are few and far between, Capri and BET kept the emphasis on the music. I love that. I actually, I haven't watched it yet, but I actually love that because, of course, they're celebrating 50 years of hip hop as well. So doing that homage is one of the best things to happen this year because, of course, we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for some of these guys who have been noticed, like Pac and Biggie. Of course, Beatmekah, man, Beatmekah, who passed on, I think it was last year, which is an illness.
And she says he's just
A
a friend.
friend. Say she's just a friend.
Beatmekah.
Oh, baby, you.
That thing has been remixed so many times, like so many.
And it was a
times.
simple piano and him on the mic. It was crazy, but it was such a huge song.
Yeah, man. We have to do our own version of it now.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Kenyan version.
yeah.
And she said she's just a friend.
And you say you just a friend. Ah, yes. So Beatmekah, I think it was diabetes. I can't remember what took him out last year, but yes, he passed on. So having just this homage being paid and then just the concentration on the music apart from the awards is amazing. That's one of the most amazing things BET could have done because hip hop has lost a lot of people.
And even Nas right now is making a lot of rounds. Right now, I think he's in Paris.
Yes, that's why he's over there. He's selfie.
Yeah, I just don't feel his hairstyle, man. His hairstyle, I'm not feeling it. Like, it just looks strange.
Guys are trying to keep up.
But at least I saw the thing that he brought up where who was that lady he was married to?
Khalees.
Yeah. So they had a daughter.
Yeah.
But he actually admitted that he was a terrible father.
Oh wow.
So now is when he's really trying to really connect with his daughter.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I think that's a positive thing.
And Khalees is now dating Bill Murray, apparently.
Okay.
I'm like,
that's a big round.
Yeah, she's like 46, like 72. I'm like, to
That's
each their own.
That's why you should never give up on love.
To each their own. To each their own. So yes, Khalees is still fine as ever, but that's an interesting mix. All right. It also had Lifetime Achievements awards. Buster got his.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw he came with his whole crew of guys.
Yeah.
They all dressed up.
Yeah. It was handed to him by Sis Beats, so that's dope.
That's excellent.
One of the highest honors of the ceremony was given to Diddy Combs. Then that was at last year's ceremony.
But Diddy has a lot of issues. Hey. Yeah. Hey.
Diddy, I think for you to be the most talked about person, you just have to keep up with the scandals. Okay? You just have to keep up with the scandals. So he's widely regarded as one of the greatest MCs.
Who?
Diddy, apparently.
Which he never wrote even one rhyme. Yeah, he never even wrote even one of the. That's where the issues with the Bad Boys artists were there back in the days.
Right.
They felt that he used them, and they still don't have their masters.
Yeah. So for Diddy, it's quite interesting. And of course, also notably, Diddy, Janet Jackson, Chucky D, Missy Elliott, Pharrell Williams, and Mariah Carey recorded tributes to Busta Rhymes. How cool is that?
Yeah, but people forget, like, Busta has been around since he was
19.
Even before that. When people forget, he went to the same school, I think, with
Jay-Z, yeah. That's the time they were battling, and he
Pharrell,
lost. Yeah.
Timberland, like they all, and that time he joined a crew called Leaders of the New School.
Oh wow.
You know, those of course at some point they fell out, they had beef with each other, like you know how crews are.
Yeah.
There's always has to be one person who has a beef with another person.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. But
like
he did. I actually watched a documentary where he moved from one school to another school.
Yeah.
And that's where he met Jay-Z.
Yeah. And they battled and he lost.
Yeah, they battled in the dining hall.
Yeah.
And he agrees he was taken out.
Exactly. But it's like that's what made him into who he is right now. He attributes that.
Yeah.
But then there's one person who's always by Buster's side that should have also gotten the Lifetime Achievement Award. That's Splifstar, man.
Splifstar is always there.
You can't have Buster without Splifstar.
You can't.
Yeah. So I wish they could have given, like, of course, credit goes to him. He's the main artist. But also notably, I think they should have awards for your hype man.
But I also liked Buster in movies.
Yeah,
Like he was pretty funny.
he is.
Uh,
He is funny. He is
uh,
very funny.
uh,
And even the chain on his neck. They showed the process of how he made it. And it was over
but
200 diamonds on that thing.
I remember when he was in his crew, and like he had this. There was a book that came out back in the day. It's called The Cat in the Hat. Remember the Cat in the
I
Hat?
remember the
That's
cat in
where
the
his
hat.
hat came from, and he'd flip it in and out when he was rapping, and people would go crazy because if you grew up when a kid, we had that book at home. The
Right.
Cat in the Hat.
Right. And he used to have the spiral thing. So it's like
Yeah.
for hypnoticism.
That's where he took it from.
Yes. I didn't know that was association with that.
Yeah.
The other people who were notably honored this year was also Patti LaBelle.
Mm.
Rather, no, Tina Turner, who was honored by Patti LaBelle.
But Patty Bill came and brought some shade.
On who?
Tina Turner.
When?
She was like, she gave her a tribute, but she was like, there's a time Tina Turner refused to give her a hug, and that's when she dismissed her. Patti LaBelle dismissed her. Some people are like
I
seriously,
love
this,
it.
this is Tina's tribute, and
It's
you
part
come.
of history, man.
So they're like, oh, Patty, you're so shady.
Those are the stories we like to hear. That's still part of history. Some things we never used to know.
So apparently, she refused to hug her like twice. I
Patty
don't know
has
the
a
reason
very-
why.
Patty has a very smart mouth. You know that.
Yeah, I don't know. There was that crew. What was it called again?
Which one?
Those three ladies. Patti LaBelle was in that crew. This
Ah.
chic or whatever.
Yeah. The ones who did. But Moulin Rouge is
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah,
The most famous song they
that's
did
them.
together.
That's them. Patti LaBelle was there. She was one of the vocalists.
Oh, was she?
Yeah, she
Yeah, Patti
was.
LaBelle was in Down for Moulin Rouge. Yeah, that group. I can't remember what it was. I think she was the lead vocalist
Yeah.
in that one. But she has a very smart mouth, so I can see how she could somehow
She
offend
was
someone.
also, people forget, but she was also in the series Greenleaf.
Yes,
She
I
was
cannot
there.
forget.
She was a pastor.
Yes, Greenleaf. I don't know why they did not continue it. It was one of
Yeah.
the best
They should
series
have.
of
I
all
think it
time.
got to season 6 or something, and they stopped. 5 or 6, and then they stopped it.
Yeah, it was short-lived, man. Short-lived.
Yeah, they should think of redoing it.
Ah, man, well, that was one of the best. So, as in, African Americans have given a lot to the industry.
Yeah.
But other than that, Burna Boy also got
But do you
his
think?
BT award.
Do you think the way Tyler Perry has taken on BT plus, I think is VH1 also?
yeah, mhm.
Do you think that he'll do it justice? The
I
way
really-
it was before.
I really do think so. I really do hope so. The narrative on TV has really changed. And let me tell you, I'm all about the community. 100%. LGBTQIA.
Because Diddy also
Plus-
tried to buy.
But the thing about TV now, it's been heavily saturated with that. Kind of like
Yeah,
the
you,
gay.
can't watch any movie or series without that.
Like Netflix is I think for you to put a series or a movie or a whatever there, it has to have a scene or multiple scenes. It's a lot. We get it.
Don't forget
It's a
also
lot.
Greenleaf had heavy,
Yes, it's
heavy
become-
scenes on that.
It's become the thing. So I'm wondering,
And it's creeping into Kenyan movies. Yeah, it's creeping in.
but it's not heavily stated. For Netflix, it's heavily.
Yeah, it's very heavy. It's very heavy.
very heavy to the point that you don't know what to watch with your kids. Because even when we were kids, our parents never used to want to expose us to kissing of any kind. Anytime there's anybody's coming close to each other, change the station.
Nowadays, even cartoons have those scenes in there.
So it's very hard. It's very hard, especially because yes, you want your kids to have choice, but as in the narrative is heavily being pushed. So I want to see what he'll do with BT. Although BT, there's some, but it's not heavily stated as Netflix. But I want to see what he'll do with BT and see how he will kind of own the black culture again. Because BT, when we used to wake up in the morning, man, the gospel music was trending throughout. You get your spirituality on, then the next thing you're knowing, you're watching hip hop, and the next thing you're knowing, you're watching neo soul.
But
The blackness was
but do you think
real.
he'll be under pressure to go to the LGBTQ that
No,
direction,
I'm sure
he'll be put under pressure.
it's.
And do you think he'll succumb to that pressure?
I mean, America and Europe are holding
Kwanzaa,
trade over our heads.
Europe, Kwanzaa is people forget about America. Europe is
Yeah,
on another level.
they're stonewalling us and they're blocking us from advancing if we don't give in to the narrative. So
Didn't they approach our president?
yes, and they were
Yes.
like, "Do not, pass the law about anti-gay, whatever, whatever." And I'm like, "Who are you?" As in, like me, first of all, me, I do not like again, I do not discriminate. But who are you as a foreigner to come and force us as a country?
But Museveni refused.
I me refused 100%.
He said
It's
there's
still
no way
standing.
Uganda's going. I think Uganda and Rwanda are like, screw that.
Yes, and then funny enough, after that he gets Rona. He survived all those times. Before that, then it happens. Conspiracy theory aside, I'm just saying. I hope Tyler Perry actually now portrays black music, black history, black information the way it's supposed, the way it was.
Well, on the positive side of Tyler Perry, yeah, he has done a lot for let's say blackness,
Yeah.
And if you go to the side of America, he's built this whole Hollywood thing,
Yeah.
So, like, he's put his money where his mouth is.
Yes.
He's not just said that I want to do this.
Yes.
So I believe that there's positivity that he's going to bring.
Mhm.
Will he get people coming and trying to push him hard? Yes,
100%.
because you got to remember, not all Tyler Perry's movies are fully black.
Mm.
There's also white people involved in his
Yeah,
movies.
yeah.
So,
100%. It's just like I'm just curious again. It's called Black Entertainment. Yeah, BET stands for Black Entertainment Television.
yeah, that's what it stands for.
So with that, yeah, I'm sorry. Me, I usually I have no discrimination against also other people of different ethnicities, but I uphold our history, our blackness to the highest standard, and BET was that for me growing up. So
But you see the way America have the blacks are very proud.
yeah,
In Kenya, what we have right now is people who have creeped into ethnicity. When you hear music, it's ethnic based.
yes,
Which I think is a positive thing.
100%.
It's very positive because that's our culture.
That's why I was saying it's good that we now have a category in these awards so that now even more of our music, because we sing to Burna Boy, we don't know what he's saying. We sing to Davido, we don't know what he's saying.
There's a
We
show.
sing to Amapiano, we don't know what they're saying. That should be the representation we also have.
We do represent our. You saw the other day. Okay, sorry to change the topic. The other day, Gor Mahia won.
Yes.
Yes, they finally won again.
The team.
Did you see the celebration?
The one and only.
That is ethnicity now.
Yeah.
They
That's
had come playing the drums. They had come.
That's why I applaud Talanta Hela. And I hope it's managed well so that
I personally
people
think
begin
that
to
they did the
embrace.
right thing by putting in Ababu there.
yeah,
I think he has good ideas,
Yeah.
and even if they're not all his ideas, he listens to other people.
right.
So I think it's a good
It's a
thing.
visionary. It's a visionary project, and I applaud it 100%. Although Ababu put 2 big billboards of himself in Naivasha.
That is the African way. That is the African way.
Naivasha didn't see it. Ababu over there smiling. You're like, well done, my friend.
I'm sure.
Well done.
I'm sure Raila was just looking like, okay, this guy. Huh?
But I 100% applaud Talanta Hela because of the showcase that happened in Naivasha over the weekend. It was amazing to see.
I think Kenya, what we need right now, and what's important in this government and moving forward to the next government, is we need people who are visionaries
Right.
to make things move forward. Because a lot of times in the last couple of years in Kenya, we've had people who come up with bright visions but don't do anything about it. So when you actually see people who are putting forth something and making it happen. And remember, this virality disappeared for some years, remember?
Yeah.
And now it's back.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing because that's part of our history of Kenya.
We hope it will be renewed next year, but yes.
Yeah.
I think they proved themselves this year under the leadership of Ababu Namomba. So big positive. I think the future looks a bit brighter for Kenyan creatives now. And both in music and in sports. So I'm really hoping to see a change because again, what was seen over the weekend is something that should not stop. It should continue.
I think what I've realized in Kenya that's happening of late with what I'm happy about is sports has come up, right? Music is coming up. and so is acting in movies. You know, if you go right now online, there's a time in Kenya you find impossible to find Kenyan movies. They're out there. We're getting to see our own stories about our own people, and I think that's a positive thing
It is
for
a
our country
positive.
moving forward.
It is a positive. Guys, I can't believe how time has flown. We're literally 6 minutes to the top of the hour, but it's been great chopping it up. Of course, you can always contribute to the conversations in the comment section right there on the YouTube channel or on our WhatsApp number +254 788 380030. We are slowly morphing into Icon Radio KE.
KE is away. And by the way,
Imepigiwa kelele mpaka sasa, it's now coming into fruition.
as we move forward with KE, in case you guys were listening out there, you have certain people that you want to see on the radio that we interview. Give us a shout out. Let us know right there, and we'll check them out for you and we'll bring them on the show.
Actually, Jimmy, I need to give you your own email address so that they also just send it to you directly at Jimmy@Icon Radio. Go to Ramogi if you have to. Ama you come here at Icon Radio. We do very good pictures in our studio. Take yourself seriously. Do your pictures. Do your press kit, as well as your 3-piece here at Icon Radio. Let's pattern again for more hip hop vibes next week. Jimmy, do you have any parting shots?
Yeah. As we part, remember one thing, we love all our Kenya music. You know, whether it's genge, whether it's hip hop, whether it's kapuka, whatever it is. So we're out here as Icon Radio to promote fully Kenya. You know, that's our thing. So send us your music so we can listen to it. You know, send us our music so we can critique it. Critique means we give our opinion, not always making you feel happy, giving you the honest thing about what's going out there. But as we leave, just know, hip hop ni
The culture loves.
yeah.
How?